Reports come out of Spain today that Chelsea are one of three clubs attempting to try and sign Ousmane Dembele from Barcelona, who has been told he has no future at the club. They want him gone this January after he turned down a new contract offer from the powerhouse at the Camp Nou. We're going to delve into that and look at another story out of Italy from Sport Repubblica, who claim that Arsenal have made a big of north of £50 million for Dusan Vlahovic, and Fiorentina are happy to accept it if the player wants to leave. So has this offer been accepted? Will it be accepted? Will the deal go through? We've got all that plus a Jesse Lingard to Newcastle update for you as well. Hit that like and share button. Let's go. Good afternoon, everybody. Chelsea to sign the Vlahovic news continuing to go away, with the player now considering the offer from Arsenal. What a far cry from 2 to 3 weeks ago, where reportedly Arsenal were having their phone calls ignored. Jesse Lingard to Newcastle United as well is also there's also an opportunity for a loan move, maybe even a permanent move, depending upon the story of which that you have come across. We're here to delve into these stories. We're going to take your calls on it as well. But I think the biggest, and where we have to start today, is with Ousmane Dembele potentially moving to Chelsea Football Club. This is one of the strangest links that I have seen. However, there are a fair number of fairly credible journalists. So you have Pedro Amadeira, very credible Portuguese journalist, that says Chelsea have offered around 15 million euros for the player. There is an article from Fabrizio Romano. Fabrizio Romano has said that Chelsea have contacted Dembele's entourage, but talks are still at an early stage as of now. There was another claim that I saw earlier. I'm trying to find the name of the source here. Obviously, we've got Fabrizio's comments as well. There's a person that was on the show with him. You had Andreas, I always get his surname wrong, Kosten, who has said that they are interested. However, a January move may be very, very difficult. And there's one here's the one that was put out by CFC Pies earlier on today. It says that Chelsea are one of three clubs that have offered Dembele's agent a big signing bonus and, of course, big tempting demands. The reports are that it is Thomas Tuchel that really wants him to come in. Now, this has come through someone that they're calling this has come from the chief editor and correspondent at the Barcelona Times, and people are referring to this guy as being a real tier one source. But what we're seeing here with this news is that Chelsea appear to be very, very interested indeed in bringing him into Stamford Bridge. And I wanted to cite those sources really and show you those, because this isn't some desk journalists from some sports newspaper that we've never heard of. This is Fabrizio Romano, one of Barcelona's best transfer journalists and experts. And Pedro, someone that's been very much on the ball over the last few months with managerial sackings, new deals, transfers, all claiming slightly different variations of the story. Slightly different variations, but all showing that Chelsea is showing a big interest in Ousmane Dembele. And for me, this is massive. This is massive for me, because we all know that Dembele possesses such a large abundance of talent. He can use both feet. He can go both ways. Good dribbler on the ball. Excellent technique. When fit, he's had periods where he can score goals at times. He's excellent. He, ability-wise, is better than every single Chelsea attacker. Even Hudson-Odoi's ability, I think Ousmane Dembele is superior to it personally. But it's the injury record. It's their injury record and the supposed behavioral issues that I would have a huge concern with if I was a Chelsea fan right now, with this deal looking at the very least on right now. My assumption of this deal is that it's on, that it could happen, that it could get over the line. And I don't know what the word for it is. I don't know if I'm shocked, concerned for Chelsea, and maybe concern's the wrong word because I am a rival, or just very intrigued by the idea that they're going to go for him. And this was the interesting. This was a tweet that really stood out to me from CFC Pies, who's a good guy, someone that I talk to on a fairly regular basis. I want to show you this here. This is his tweet. Obviously, this is the name of the journalist here. As you can see, like, he isn't verified, but he's the chief editor and correspondent for the Barca Times, who are a very big outlet. But he's saying they're credible. He's obviously done his research on this individual himself before putting it out. And there's so many of these stories. This is hilarious, but there are so many of these stories that are coming out here. He would say, Andre here, Andrea, sorry, with a fair amount that have come through. You've got all the claims via the Twitch. I assume this is the individual that was streaming with Fabrizio earlier on today. Okay, linked with, he's not thinking of leaving Barca now. So that is one that kind of plays down this on Twitch. But then you have the situation here with Chelsea always have been interested in him and have made contact with the agent, but I'm told they haven't made any offers for the player as of yet. So as I say, there's lots of different variations to this story. What's going on, what's being said, what may or may not happen. But it certainly feels on and active. It certainly feels as though this deal is something that Chelsea are potentially going to look to try and progress. But I want to know, Chelsea fans, what you think and feel. Is this the right player? Is this the right individual? Is this the right move for Chelsea Football Club? I'm very intrigued to know just how you think and feel about it. I'm legitimately in two minds. I'm honestly in two minds about it as a football fan, and it's just that injury element. It is just that injury element. Let's go to some of your comments here and see what's being said. Terry, we don't need Dembele. We need a right wing back. And left wing and a left wing back is what Fraser has got to say here. Sean says, why did Chelsea buy all these clones? I don't know. I can't answer that question. I can't answer it for you. It seems a weird one to me. Bobby here says, one of my members says, in today's market, 15 million is more than worth the risk. Just depends on what he wants in terms of wages. And I think that may be I think this deal is, I think this transfer is real. I think it's a real deal that could happen. I feel that Chelsea have made the inquiries and they're waiting to see what the wage demands will be before they make an offer. I think the £15 million offer is probably what's been cited to them by the agent. And Chelsea may have said, well, if we can get a deal on the salary, then we can do it. But he's going to be on big money. He will be on big money if he's coming to Chelsea Football Club. He'll be on big money. There's no doubt he's going to be on big money. I can't imagine a world where he is not on big money. I can't imagine a world where he's not on big money at Chelsea, over 200 grand a week or so. Big up yourself. Hope you're well, Danny. That is one of the best comments I've seen. One of the best comments I've teamed. What you're saying here, any Koundé news? Nothing has changed with Jules Koundé. I haven't seen a single report about Jules Koundé. No change in direction, no movement on that whatsoever. So that looks like a deal that Chelsea are going to leave now until the summer. And we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with it moving forward. We will see. We're going to share the links very soon for you to come on and have your say. So stay with the terrace here. The next deal that I want to speak about, again, this has been going on now for the majority of January. But the Dusan Vlahovic news, very intriguing to me. So there's a freelance journalist here called Dean James who shared the news, like he aggregated the news from earlier on today. And his claim is that Arsenal have submitted the claim here from Sport Repubblica, who are a verified outlet from Italy. Their claim is that Arsenal have offered £54.1 million for Vlahovic, plus bonuses for the player. So that's Fiorentina, which Fiorentina are happy with. Happy with or happy to accept, whichever which way around you want to spin that is what they're saying. The player is considering the offer. That is a claim here, as you see from verified outlet Sport Repubblica. They are making that claim that the bid will be accepted if made official by Arsenal. Of course, Arsenal are waiting for the player to accept the offer that's coming his way. And I think what's very intriguing about this piece of news that has circulated this afternoon, it comes back to the player now. And when you think about what Dean Jones told us just on Tuesday morning about the Vlahovic deal, he believed, like most journalists, that Arsenal and Fiorentina can come to an agreement. They don't care about waiting to the summer, per se. He's going to leave. He's got 18 months left on his deal. Every transfer window that goes by without selling him, he loses value. This is what Arsenal were looking to do, to try and convince the player now to come in, to make that move, make that jump at this stage, as opposed to waiting for the summer. It's sort of the second or third claim coming out of Italy in the past 24 to 48 hours that at the very least a bid has been submitted and placed in for the player. And further comments that came out of this story is that the player is reflecting. He does have goals to play for a top club that is playing Champions League football every year. So this is what's interesting now for Vlahovic, the player himself. He has to look at this offer that Arsenal are making. He has to look at the project. He has to look at Arteta, the squad that's around him, and decide whether or not he thinks for his career, this is the best move for him. As I've stated throughout the course of January, my opinion on all the news that we have received is that Arsenal were serious, that Arsenal were prepared to make a big offer, that they are prepared to pay big salary to the player. They're prepared to pay a big agent fee for him to be convinced to come. They back this guy. This is Mikel Arteta's number one target for that position on the field. We've had 2 reports in the past 24 hours that bids were submitted. A number of outlets, one out of Florence themselves. And now we have this from Sport Repubblica that the offer has been accepted or will be accepted when it's made official. And I've said before, that is all semantics. If they've said we'll pay 50, if you ring up a football club and say, would you take 54 million? If you submit an official offer, we'd be happy with that. That means your bid's accepted. You know that work's done. No more negotiations need to happen with Fiorentina. So we'll wait to see whether this news that we have just shared there on the screen with you turns out to be true from Sports Repubblica. As you can see here, this is their account here. Go check them out. I'm sure you can click on their articles and translate them into English and have a read through them as well. But we've seen so much of this in terms of the news in the past 6 to 9 months, where a lot of the smaller outlets are often going first with this news before some of the big tiers. So it's worth having a look at. It's interesting to see what's going to happen here. It feels like it's coming to the end now for this deal. It feels like we're starting to get into that home straight. 10, 11 days left of the transfer market. And it feels like it's coming down to, will the player say yes or no to Arsenal? It feels like that is where we are. But as ever, I want your thoughts and your feelings in relation to this. It's interesting news, globally trending news in the football spectrum right now for all those that are asking where it's come from. I know that all of you I've got Twitter or the internet and definitely can be searching it. So look, it's an intriguing one to see what comes out and what is going to happen. VK here says, Vlahovic, if he joins Arsenal in mid-Jan, is not the player with an elite mentality. We're going to find out a lot about him by the end of the window. See, I don't necessarily think it's fair to say that he has a bad mentality for joining Arsenal. In fact, I think that's a bit of a stretch. I think that's a little bit disrespectful to Arsenal. He has to look at who is after him, their projects, the money they're offering him, the status in the squad, who he's competing against, the direction they're going in. You look at Juve right now. Juve look awful. They don't look like they're going to be on the rise anytime soon. Are they offering as much money? Is the project they're looking as good? I look at it this way. We've got to see who Tottenham sign. If Arsenal sign Vlahovic, they are probably going to make the top four. And they're almost going to throw that challenge into him and say, look, we think we're there or thereabouts the top four. With you, though, I think you could guarantee it for us. There is a way of convincing him. He may say no, but if he does say yes, I don't think it is a mar on the ambition of this young man. Maybe his view is very Haaland-esque. Let's go to and I'm not calling Arsenal a stepping stone here, but maybe it's let's go to Arsenal now, develop there for a couple more years. We get them back into the Champions League and back challenging, great. And I say challenging for the major titles. If not, then we look for that move to that giant club afterwards. It kind of would suit everybody in some respects. So I don't think it would damage his. I don't think that's going to be detrimental to his. I don't think that's his mentality that could be looked at. But I do hear your point. Arsenal are not in the Champions League. They're not right now, but they could be. They could be, my friend, and they sign Vlahovic. They've got an even better chance here. We're going to go to your call soon because I want you to come on and have your say. I'm going to share that link, but just an update of everything that we've spoken about so far. The first news is this. Fabrizio Romano has confirmed that Chelsea are interested in Ousmane Dembele. A number of other verified and credible journalists across the UK and Europe have given us slight variations of the story, from deep talks and big offers made to the agents. They speak of a 15 million euro offer into Barcelona to take the player away. However, to counterbalance that, there is also a claim via a different journalist that Ousmane Dembele doesn't even want to leave right now. So we're going to look to see how that one is going to play out. But it does appear that Chelsea are interested in bringing Ousmane Dembele to Stamford Bridge this month. And in other news, Sport Repubblica have reported today that Arsenal have made a £54.1 million plus bonus offer to Fiorentina, of which they are happy to accept. And on top of that, the player is now considering his move to Arsenal. That is the claim that has been made. I want your thoughts and I want your feelings. The link is being shared in the live comment section now. I really want to hear from you on this. I want to get your take. And we are going to speak later on in the show, Jesse Lingard to Newcastle as well, which I think could be a good move for all parties involved with that one there. It really, really could be. That link is out. That link is posted. Get yourselves on. I want to hear from you. I want to see you. I want to get your views and opinions. A lot of Chelsea fans online don't seem happy with this, but we will see. Let's have a little look at some of your views here in the comment section. Dembele wants around he wants 700k. He can't want 700k a week. Bro, do me a favor, Danny boy. Send me the link for that, my bro. I need to see this. I need to see that. That's huge. That is massive. That is massive if true. Huge if true. Gargantuan if true. But they're not paying it. Chelsea are not going to pay him that kind of money. They're not. Chelsea are not doing that. Not today, not next week, not next month. Not at all. I'm just sharing the link on Twitter as well to have a little buzz, up, have a little phone in. Let me just put this in there now. Let's get this put in there now. There we go. Right. Link shared on Twitter as well. I need to hear from people. on this. Reports from Italy have suggested the Ousmane Dembele deal, as well as reports, because Fabrizio counts as reports from Italy, doesn't he? As well as reports from the UK, Portugal, and Barcelona. All done. All these reports are real. All these reports are verified. I love it. I do love my trolls. I always say this, like, share the links, share the reporters, show it on the screen. Oh, it's not real. Yeah. No one's buying it, bro. No one's buying it. Right, let's go to our first caller of the day. First on the show, we're going to get young Samuel on to have his say with us today. Young Samuel's coming on. I think. Let me just bear with me a second here. I've just got to check one little quick thing. Where's it gone? Where's this gone now? Where's it gone? Where's it gone? Where has it gone? I know I've seen it. I just gotta find it. Where's it gone? Hang on. Yeah. Comment here for one of our trolls. Fabrizio hasn't said anything about Dembele going to a specific club. Fabrizio Romano on his Twitch said here that Chelsea made contact with Ousmane Dembele's agent some weeks back, but no bid as of yet. So to say that Fabrizio hasn't said anything specific about Dembele joining a specific club is an absolute lie from you. Sorry to expose you on that one, bro, but we ain't making up stories on the football terrace. We're literally reporting what is trending. Everyone in the comments, just write steak pull in the mud. Steak pull in the mud, in the mud. He is in the mud. And bro, but I didn't say that Fabrizio said he put a bid, the bids had gone in. You're in the mud again, in the mud, he's in the mud again. Young Samuel's here with me now. Smash that like and share button, people. Yes, Samuel, how you doing, young man?
I'm doing good, Terry. And today is a big day in terms of Mikel Arteta's future, in my opinion, with his club because this is the only trophy we can win this season. And a lot of Arsenal fans, as my expectation is to win a trophy every season or possibly get to Wembley every season. And if he fails to do that tonight, we're below Tottenham in the league. I'm not really worried about that because it's still a long way to go to the season. But if he fails to get into the League Cup final, then it is a lot of pressure on him because he got knocked out of the FA Cup under Nottingham Forest. Really with one of the worst performances I've ever seen, and then now he's put all his eggs into the Premier League, feeling confident that we're going to get top four. So he has to deliver. But on the main story of this window is the Vlahovic thing, is where listen, man, I really don't like this with the Asian back and forth back and this. I think you, Terry, you've been constantly right on this for the past 4 years. Years you've been talking about the agents, bro. They have too many influence. They have too much control over the players. And the prime example is Mina Raiola. You know, I think like Raiola has done to Manchester United. He's influenced the dressing room. He's influenced Paul Pogba for making the decisions best for his heart. He makes players go for their heads. I mean, I do get that maybe because it's their job to get the best. They have to look after themselves, but all in all, it is very annoying. At the end of the day, I think if we spend too long looking for Vlahovic, we need to go for the midfielder because right now, the way the news about Granit Xhaka, I'm not sure if am I allowed to talk about it on here or the Xhaka news.
I don't know what the news is.
Well, allegedly,
Oh,
I'll use
the yellow
yeah,
card thing.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've read up about that. It doesn't. I've read that story. It doesn't feel like Xhaka has done it. If anybody's done something wrong, it feels more like the referee than Granit Xhaka. In terms of what I've said, but I mean, the Vlahovic deal, though. I mean, there is a lot of news, as you say. There was news outlets from Florence yesterday. You've got Sports Republica today saying this bid has gone in. I feel like the bid is going to be one of those unofficial bids of would this work? Arsenal are going to wait for the player to accept, but it seems like he's considering. And when you think 3 weeks ago, the news was the agent is ignoring Arsenal's calls to Arsenal put together a package that Fiorentina would accept. The player's now considering the offer. On a scale of 1 to 10, how confident are you that Arsenal can pull this off?
If you ask me January 1st, I would say 1 out of 10. But as of right now, sitting here today, I'd say I'm more of like a 6.5 out of 10. I believe the way we've been going because usually in the past couple of years we've gone after players like Thomas Partey that we really wanted and we got him in the end. Even back years, Alexis Sanchez really wanted him, we got him in the end. Aubameyang, we got him in the end. So listen, I think like the club has said, whatever McCarthy wants to see, then we're going to provide it for him because what the club they've seen right now is the fourth place Champions League spot is there for the taking, and they want to take affirmative action to secure that place. And I think signing Vlahovic, yes, that's one step, but I don't believe the window is complete for us securing top four if we just get Vlahovic, because I think that midfield situation, I don't see how how we rotate throughout the rest of the season due to the postponements. Let's face it, there's going to be more postponements coming into the latter stages of the season, so we obviously have to rotate. Right now, if we do rotate, we've only got three recognised starting midfielders in Partey, Xhaka, and Lokonga. Because on any, I mean, he's coming back from AFCON. Maybe he's out the door going back to Turkey, or we might release his contract because we can't sell him. So it is a big what if in the situation. But Vlahovic is part of one step into the fourth place spot.
I hear you, mate. Samuel, great call, my friend. Thanks for coming on and having your say. Really appreciate it, bro. Thank you very much indeed. Got a Chelsea fan, Nathaniel, coming on the show next to have his say. I'm really intrigued to hear from Chelsea fans on this news. Some suggesting that a 15 million euro bid has been made. You've got Fabrizio Romano that has said that Chelsea have made inquiries. There are some others that kind of play it down, that it's going to be a difficult deal to get done. Some say that Ousmane Dembele doesn't want to leave Barca in January, but it does appear, irrespective of which story you're clinging to the most, it does appear very much so that Chelsea are interested in Ousmane Dembele in January, a Thomas Tuchel target. Nathaniel's on the show with me now, big Chelsea fan to have his say. Give me your take on that, bro.
Yeah, I'll take Dembele over any winger we have, because this guy, his quality, his what's it called, his technique. Listen, I'll take an injured Dembele over Werner, man. Like anybody that says we don't need him is lying or they're silly. A bid for him, listen, I'll get him in January, 15 million. He might be injured a few times, but injuries, they're temporary, but class is permanent, and he is a class player. And I think if we get him, it's over for everybody. Like, I really believe he's technically better than Salah. He'll be the best player he'll be the best winger in the Premier League if he stays fit. He's 24 years of age. Imagine him staying fit.
Better than Mohamed Salah.
I promise you, when he's 28, he'll be better than Salah. I promise you, if he stays fit.
What, so you think he'll deliver more, he'll score more, he'll create, like you're talking the full caboodle better than Mohamed Salah?
Maybe not as much goals, but everything else better. Everything else.
Well, that's a big claim. So I mean, you're fairly happy for your club to spend whatever they need to spend on terms of salary, agent fees to bring him in.
The salary maybe not, but I don't trust the Chelsea board in getting. To be honest, I don't trust the Chelsea board in getting him because we're slow with things and we don't think properly. But hopefully we get him. 700k a week. Come on, that's not true. I don't know who's saying that, but
yeah, I mean, I don't know how. I doubt it'd be 700k. That's more than Messi was earning at Barca, I think. But huge amounts of money, and you got to think about it though. What about the progression of people like Callum Hudson-Odoi? Like, how will it impact him?
Cho, he's not good enough, man. He's had a good start. He's had a good start to the season. Had a good few games, but that was against Norwich. Come on, man. He needs to go on loan, or we need to sell him because I'm done with this. Oh, we need to give him time, the youth time. Pulisic, Cho, he's not consistent. Look at Greenwood. This guy's consistent for Man U. Look at Smith Rowe. Look at Saka. They're consistent players. They score regularly. Cho, he's missed how many chances for us? So I'm done with him.
Nathaniel, top man. Do me a favor as well, by the way. Drop me a DM, please, if you can. And we'll speak again soon. All the best, Nathaniel. Top man. Big claims there. Dembele, by the time he's 28, will be better than Mohamed Salah. That was his claim. He wants Chelsea to do. I wasn't expecting any Chelsea fan to be confident or happy about this move today. We've got Andrew, the Winter Surfer, on next. Of course, big Chelsea fan, a regular on the terrace as well. Andrew, what are you saying, mate? Dembele in?
I can't believe what I've spoken to Nathaniel before. I can't believe what I've just heard. This guy is a major risk, even on a free transfer. I've been doing some research. He's either missed nearly 2 years or over 2 years of football with all his injuries added together since he's been at Barcelona. Not in his career, since he's been at Barcelona. Do you remember in the Euros when he came on a game and then went off 17 minutes later? Terry, you said it before about some players. He's got biscuit legs. And also, he's now got this hip flexor injury as well. So that limits how you play, how you twist, how you turn. And also, the way we're playing, he doesn't fit our front three. We'd end up playing him as a wing back, the way we're playing. It's a financial risk. Okay? All this, you know what's happening in Chelsea transfer news now? When we're linked to a player, you know what the next sentence is? Oh, Tuchel likes him, or Tuchel's asked for him, or Tuchel's done this to get people on side. I don't. He's worked well into Tuchel. That was 5 years ago. Tuchel's moved on, and he's moved on. I think even on a free transfer, it's a massive risk. I'll only accept a pay-as-you-play deal or it's low
Yeah.
wages and the contract is incentivized. Like you have to complete 30 league games and you have to play so many minutes or something like that.
I'm just looking at this again. My view: talent for days.
No doubt.
Look, I'm just looking at this here. I'm going to put it on the screen. This is this season. All the red markers are where he's been out injured. That's the league this season. The majority of the league this year is out, right? Half the Champions League games. If we go back to last season, and I haven't looked at this before talking to you. Let's look at last season. Again, majority of the season, not even available for large parts. La Liga, not a bad year last year. Available for a decent amount, but still, not in squad for certain things and everything else. So last year was probably his best year in terms of availability. If you keep going back and looking at him, you just keep. I mean, look at that season.
That's
Whole
mad.
season out. Like this kid, and this kid's young. You go back again. They go back 4 seasons ago now, and this is the issue. Look at that. Another, like, not in the Euro qualifiers for France. Again, still a fairly bad season. This kid, as you say, is made of biscuits, and it's
What are you hearing from most?
Amazing, but he's never going to stay fit. And the
But
Prem is faster and stronger. He's going to.
And what are you hearing from Chelsea fans now? What are you hearing, Chelsea? They question Pulisic's injury record, right? They question his fitness. They were questioning Kante's fitness. Now we're going to add some guy who's got fitness issues all over the place. For me, logically it makes no sense, but it's a type of signing Chelsea would think somehow is amazing that they'll do at this board. And I'm telling you, he needs to play. You know what? He needs to play 20 games in a row for me to be confident in him without breaking down. And I don't think he's got it in him, especially now coming to this league. This league it's gonna be rougher. I'm sorry, it just is. It just is.
Mate, I hear you. And look, people have to separate you saying you don't want him because of the body breakdown and the injuries, as opposed to that he isn't talented. Because I think on talent wise, he's better than all your attackers.
Yeah.
But it ain't about that. Like football, like the physical side of football is so key. Every day, people discount and disregard how important the physical element of the game is. And I think this could be massively it. Winter Surfer, legend for coming on, mate. Big respect to you. We'll get you. We'll speak to you again soon, bro. We'll speak to you Sunday. Take care, my bro. All the best. Thank you. Next on the show, I do want to speak to some Arsenal fans as well, because we are speaking about the Vlahovic news that's come out. But we've got, do you know what? I have to skip everybody for a minute because iTest is here. I'm so happy he's back. I love iTest. And AJ, we're coming to you soon. Jazz, we're going to come to you. Shrey, Victor, Mo, and more of you. We are coming to you. But the iTest, the biggest Dembele fan I have ever come across in my life, is back on the football terrace. Welcome back to the show, iTest. How you doing?
Yes, I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm well, mate. Good, long time no speak, my friend. How do you feel about this Dembele? I know you rate Dembele highly. Good move for Chelsea, bad move. What camp are you in?
Well, I think he shouldn't go to Chelsea because I don't think the system they play right now suits him. They don't have any wingers in their system. They have like 2 number 10s and 2 wing backs. Unless they change the system, I don't think he should go there because Dembele, one of the main reasons why I like him is he's one of the only proper wingers out there that actually puts crosses in, that actually beats a man, that does things a winger should do. Not like Marcus Rashford, who doesn't put crosses in, puts in like 0.2 crosses in a game. Not like these other guys in today's football that they call wingers, but they don't even put crosses in. Dembele puts crosses in. He's 2-footed. He takes on players. He's fast. He's a proper winger. So, and Chelsea, they don't have wingers in their formation. I think he should go Arsenal. I think he would suit Arsenal perfectly. I think Arteta's building something with the young players, with Smith Rowe, Saka. Arsenal are building something. Maybe Liverpool, maybe Bayern Munich with Sane on the other side. That's where he should go.
So,
but he's a serious player, man.
I know he's a serious talent. I wouldn't call him a serious player because he doesn't play enough because he's out injured a lot. Is that if Man United were linked with him today, would you not be concerned about his injury record though?
No. I wouldn't be concerned because that's Barcelona's problem. That's Barcelona's problem because Barcelona had injury problems for a long time. You could look up the Barcelona injury issues they've had. Before Dembele went to Barcelona, he hardly had any injuries. I don't think he's had an injury at Dortmund. Before he went to Barca, did he even have an injury in
Oh,
his career?
so what you're sort of suggesting is that actually he's like Barcelona have damaged him, and it's not an indicative problem with the player. It's more Barcelona, their system, their medical team, etc.
Yes, that's what I'm saying because they've had injury problems for a long time now. Look at Luis Suarez, his injury problems when he was at Barca, and then when he left Barca, they've had injury problems. So it's not Dembele. It's not Dembele. But I will take him at United. Look, Jadon Sancho. I've had enough of Jadon Sancho. You lot hyped him up, saying he's the guy that's gonna save United. He's the savior. He's the guy we needed for a long time. You even said he's finally we have a right winger since Ronaldo left. I think that's disrespect to Valencia, but that's the type of stuff you were saying. And now look at him. But he keeps getting chance after chance. Why does Donny not get the same chances that Sancho has? I don't understand. I've had enough of Sancho. Getting Ousmane Dembele, man, a proper winger. When was the last time we had a proper winger? Since Valencia, man.
Listen, and I think he is a proper winger. I worry, and look, you could be right. It could have been Barca's medical team that have messed him up. But when you've had when your hamstring is broken 5, 6, I'm reading here 6 times in 4 years, that would be my concern. I haven't heard a single Chelsea fan say he isn't a good enough talent. And I think on ability, better than Rashford, better than Hudson-Odoi, better than Sancho. I think we all know that. The problem that he's got is he might only be available for 1/3, half maybe of your season. And that's the problem. If you had a fully fit, always ready Ousmane Dembele and you line him up against any other inside forward stroke winger in the world and say, Terry, who's the better footballer? The one thing they've got is they're all fit all the time. On ability, I would agree with you, I test that Ousmane Dembele is there or thereabouts with the very best. It's just whether or not he can play, and that would be my concern. And one of the reasons why I'm kind of happy we're not giving Pogba a new deal. As much as I want the ability of the player, he seems to miss 2 to 3 months of every single season. And when you're looking at a guy that wants 400 or 500 grand a week, they've got to be available 90% of the time. I think that availability is the best ability, and I think that can go against him in relation to that. Just quickly on Marcus Rashford, he crosses the ball into the box 2.1 times per game, not 0.2. But
That's a lie.
That's
That's
not
a
a lie.
lie.
It's not a lie. It's
That's a
here
lie.
at Y Scout.
I don't believe that. I watched the game.
Ousmane Dembele does cross more though, 3.6 times per game. So he does put about 1.5 crosses in extra per game, and he's a better dribbler. There's no doubt about it. He just needs to stay fit and then add that end product because the end product from Ousmane Dembele isn't there. And I just put that down to he doesn't play enough games, if that makes sense. On the claim the previous caller said that he would be, if he comes to Chelsea or comes to the Prem in the right system, he'll be better than Mo Salah. Do you agree with that?
Of course, I agree with that. I think Salah I've always said from day one, since when I first came on the channel, I told you this guy, people overrate him. He's a system player. He suits the Klopp system perfectly. He's there when he's there to finish it off because the Klopp system create the service for him. He's always in the right place in the Klopp system, but he ain't better than Eden Hazard because he can't do the stuff Eden Hazard used to do. Eden Hazard used to collect the ball from the halfway line, beat 3-4 man, pass it, and create a chance. But you won't see that in the stats because he passed it and then the other guy passed it. Do you get what I'm saying? Salah can't do these sorts of stuff. If Hazard played on the clock,
I hear that.
he'd
We
get 40
haven't
goals in a
spoke
season.
for a while about Hazard. What's gone wrong with him at Real Madrid, though? Why has it not worked there for him, in your opinion?
Well, he's done his thing in his career. He's become one of the best players in the world. Now he's relaxing like Kaka. Why does no one talk about Kaka flopping at Madrid? Kaka flopped at Madrid. It's not an issue. He did his thing at Chelsea. He's a Premier League legend. And now he's just relaxing. It's like MLS. We're not criticizing people flopping in MLS. You know? He's just relaxing now. He's a Premier League legend now.
Helen, you're comparing going to Real Madrid is the same as going to play for New York Red Bull or whatever.
But he's a Premier League legend now. He's a Premier League legend now. He's done his thing.
You're a funny guy. Listen, Ali, mate, absolute pleasure speaking to you again. And we'll speak soon.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you, brother. All the best. Thank you. Look, I don't agree with everything he said. I definitely don't think I weren't going to get into another war of words with him. That's for you to phone up and have your say. If any of you challenge him, I'm sure he'll jump straight back on the stream. AJ's with us now. AJ is if you're in the back chat and you're there and you're an Arsenal fan, let me know because I want to speak to AJ that I know is a actually we've got Corey that's coming next to the Gooner. We've got Mohammed who's the Gooner because we want to speak about the Vlahovic news as well. But AJ's with us now, big Chelsea fan. What you saying, mate?
First thing, Hazard better than Salah? Like, I'm a Chelsea fan, but holy, whoa, that is a big claim. Like, Salah, he's saying Hazard beat 3 or 4 players and done. I've seen Salah do that numerous times. Salah is probably, for me, the best player in the world, and Chelsea letting him go to fucking Roma is like the worst piece of business we've ever seen. Actually, no. Selling De Bruyne to Wolfsburg is probably the worst piece of business known to football history. It is disgraceful. And this whole Vlahovic, to be honest, I'm a big Chelsea. I love Chelsea. Love the Chelsea tattoo on my chest. But if Arsenal's playing Vlahovic, the way they're playing, the way Arteta's going, I'm worried. They've got games in hand. They're only, 10 points behind us, Chelsea, at the moment. They've got games in hand that could quite easily catch us. And Vlahovic is a good striker. He can come into Arsenal with the system they're playing. He can score some goals. And as a Chelsea fan, I'm a bit worried. All of a sudden, I'm looking over my shoulder going, these guys coming for us. And there's Tottenham, there's Arsenal. Like, these guys all had games in hand, and they can overtake us. We're in a slump, and all of a sudden, I'm not looking ahead anymore. I'm looking behind. It's a bit annoying, I guess. But
no, I hear that. And Chelsea fans know in their heart of hearts they've just got to step. Everything has got to step up. They've got to go to that next level now and just start to do. Yeah.
That's the type of shit, man. Like I remember I was watching you and talking to you at the start of the season, and everyone was like, "You're not talking about Chelsea." And you're like, "What's to talk about? They're playing perfectly." I mean, what? You fast forward 10 weeks, and it's like a different story. This is what I love with the Premier League, man. You can have the best team on paper, but what goes around. Let's face it, Man City have probably been the best team in Europe for the last 2 or 3 years. But I personally, as a fan, want to see a challenge, and it broke my heart when we lost to Man City last week because it's like that was it. That was our title challenge gone.
Yeah. No, mate, I hear you on that completely. And just final word: if you would have Ousmane Dembele, good or bad idea?
No, everyone's trying to replace Hazard. Everyone thinks Dembele's gonna be good, but let's just face it, man. His injury record's terrible in Spain. He can't cut it in Spain. What's he going to come to the Premier League and all of a sudden light it on fire? No, he doesn't come to the Premier League and get injured every second game. Just say, he gets injured in Spain. Like, I remember watching Cristiano Ronaldo when I was a kid, and I was like, he's going to dominate Spain. And he went to Spain. He dominated Spain. I look at Dembele. He's a really talented player, but he's going to be like, not Sterling, the Liverpool player. We sold him to Liverpool. The striker. It's the same thing.
Daniel Sturridge.
Sturridge, that's why. I'm sorry. We sold it. He had a bed in Liverpool hospital waiting for him after every game.
Mate,
you know what I mean? And as much as Sturridge is great, he just gets injury records just there. You just shouldn't take the risk.
You completely, brother. Listen, great call, my friend. Thanks for coming on and having your say.
Thanks for having me on, man.
Thank you. Corey's on the show next. Corey's here. He's a gooner. What are you saying, Corey?
Just going to give my few thoughts about this Vlahovic deal. Obviously, I've seen the reports from October. We have been scouting him. There was actually reports years ago that Wenger had actually been looking at him when he was in the Serbian league years and years ago. So there's always been some type of connection there. Obviously, it's fell through a lot of the times and whatnot. With this player, I am still 50-50. I understand there has been a lot of reports coming out regards to fees getting agreed through intermediaries and stuff of that nature, which, that's how transfers work. Before you get any concrete prove that the player wants to join. You're going to have those little back and forth talks between agents and whatnot. If we do sign him, potentially top 4, it's still not guaranteed in my eyes, even if we do sign him, purely on the fact is whether he'll need time to adapt. I'm not too sure. You know what I mean? I understand he's prolific in Syria and whatnot, but there's still an adaptation period when you come to the Premier League. Not every player, you know what I mean? Not every player comes from different leagues and struggles. He has got the physicality, and the one thing I do like about him, the issue we've found is, especially with Saka on the wing, he gets targeted a lot. 3-4 players target him because they know he's the danger man. With Vlahovic coming in, it takes that heat off Saka.
Yeah.
Because of his presence on the pitch, and I think that will free up the wingers a lot more. And also, it'll be a good rotation, especially with Lacazette running down on his deal. Aubameyang, you know what I mean, pretty much out the door at this point now, just waiting for...
Yeah, do you know what? I get the point of no guarantee, and I think it's a very fair way to look at it. It's just a case of, I always look at, players can always flop. When Man United were getting Jadon Sancho, the reason that there's so much banter now is because everybody was like, oh man, he's a serious player, and he still might turn it around. He still might, like, it's so early days, no settled manager right now. I look at Vlahovic, and I watched so much footage of him recently since talking about this deal, and he gives me Haaland vibes, and he has what Harry Kane has. He has what Lewandowski has. He's a good footballer. He isn't a big lump who finishes tap-ins in headers. He's got great technique. He strikes the ball well. He can pass. He's got decent movement. For a tall guy as well, he's got that good sort of spin, and first 3-4 yards is quick. He's got so much about him. He worries me. I think he could, the levels he could give you above, because Aubameyang is an old-fashioned striker. He's a tapping merchant. He's a poacher, and there's nothing wrong with that. Ruud van Nistelrooy, generally speaking, tapping merchant. Michael Owen, these guys, Ian Wright, they were poachers, tapping guys, and tapping merchant is probably a disrespectful way of saying it, but they were just goal scorers.
That's what there was built on. You know what I mean? That's what there was built on. You know what I mean? It's not disrespectful because the goal tally speaks for itself. Each different strikers have different, you know what I mean, specialities. Obviously, you have Thierry Henry, which is like a complete striker, but not every striker's like that. You have the ones that are, you know what I mean, 6-yard specialists that work inside the box, ones that are able to build up, like, you know what I mean, like Lacazette doesn't really score a lot, but he helps in the build-up play.
Yeah.
With Vlahovic, I know that you mentioned earlier in the show talking about, I don't know if it's a comment or whatnot, but they're saying, oh, well, is he undermining his mentality? I don't see it like that, you know what I mean? Fair enough, we aren't at the heights we was before, but even if it's a case of him in his mind thinking, well, I'll join with Arsenal in 3-4 years, 3 years, say, for example, they aren't at the, you know what I mean, the peaks or what there was basically selling to me originally. Because I imagine that's what Arteta's going to go down the lines of saying, look, you can help us build to back where we was, challenge them for titles and whatnot. If it doesn't work out like that, we could sell him on for a lot of money.
Mate, and do you know what? Dean Jones spoke about that a lot in the summer. That was part of Arsenal's strategy. By highly talented young players, they serve both ways. They develop to the players you want them to be, and the team develops. You've got a star-studded squad worth a lot of money that you bought cheaper than their valuation that can win you things for 5, 6, 7 years. Equally, if the team doesn't quite get to where you want it to be and the player outgrows you, you sell for large amounts of money and you reinvest again. And it's a great foul save. It isn't it's not the element of the process that the nice bit, but it's almost there is a foul save. If you're buying players that are all 28, 29 and it doesn't work, you've invested that money and there's no kickback, there's no income generated at the end of those deals or etc. for them. So it's brilliant. Listen, do me a favor, Corey. Drop me a DM if you can, bro. Really like your flow on the channel as well, my guy. And we'll catch you soon. Cheers, Corey. Thanks, mate. We have some breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. I was waiting for this to come out today. As we said, Lingard to Newcastle. Let's give you the breaking news. Newcastle United reportedly very close, according to the Telegraph, of signing Jesse Lingard for £12 million. pounds. There were mooted reports this morning that a permanent deal could happen. It is all about the player. Man United will accept around £12 million for the player. It is highly thought of. It is about the player agreeing the deal. It is about the player accepting the offer from Newcastle. A big offer should do it. They're obviously improving that squad. They've signed some decent players already. Eddie Howe plays football, a very nice football. And Lingard wants to be very much part of a team with a project where he is going to be for the next few years the centre. He becomes their best creative attacking player. He is levels above the likes of Joe Willock from a midfield area in terms of creativity. This could be it. This could be a £12 million deal. That information has come from Luke Edwards at the Telegraph. I spoke to another journalist earlier today that told me there's going to be some news coming. He said, but you got to wait for it to break. I didn't know the 12 million bit. He said there's a talk about a permanent deal that could be happening. But there it is from Luke Edwards, as it were. We've shared it. We've tagged, of course, the source in there as well for you. You can see him there. He works for the Daily Telegraph as a Northern football writer. He's a Leyton Orient fan. That's why, got a lot of respect for him. I didn't know he was an Orient fan. I'm going to drop him a follow as well. My brother's an Orient fan, so I give him a lot of respect for that, being an Orient boy and all that jazz. But Newcastle closing in on Jesse Lingard, 12 million quid. Could that trigger Manchester United into the transfer market? The midfield positions, go and get a little bit of Neves. We need a little bit of Neves in our lives. That's what we need. That is what we need. But that's the breaking news there. Jesse Lingard closing in on the deal to Newcastle, according to the Telegraph. Then the Telegraph, one of the most respected newspaper outlets on planet Earth. They really, really are. So, trust that news. Absolutely trust that news as being true. That it's nearly there. Can still fall through, but nearly there. We're going to do some more calls now, but do me a favor and smash that like button for me. Really important that you get that done. Give that a little smash. I'm going to wait now till we go past 500. Just 500 likes. Let's get it past that 500 mark right now while we're live on the air. And yes, I am looking at you, Ali, because I know you ain't touched it yet. And you, Sarim. Take Naby Keita. No. I don't want Naby. Can you imagine taking Naby Keita? With that injury body? Sancho is the next Lingard, is what he said. You're meant to be a Man United fan. Back your team, bro. Up next on the show, I'm going to get David on in a minute. But before that, Shrey is with us here. What are you saying, Shrey? Shrey's a Chelsea fan.
Hey, Terry, can you hear me?
I can hear you, Shrey. What do you want to say, brother?
Yeah. I seriously don't understand why are Chelsea even going for this guy? Like, this guy is seriously like broken down. I'm telling you, this guy will break within three or 4 games. He'll be done because of the physicality of the Premier League. The only reason I can even think of Chelsea doing this is because he's worked with Tuchel. That's about it. That I seriously don't see this guy done, honestly. And if Chelsea do it, it'll be like a flop. Like I don't see the logic behind it. I get it why Chelsea are trying to do it, but I don't think Dembele is the right guy, because we seriously have bigger signings to go for, like a wing back, for example. Like, because I'm not hearing anything about a wing back. They've tried Emerson, Dest, I've heard, even Kurzawa flop. That's not happening. PSG have turned it down. So that's the bigger concern for me. Rather than signing an injured guy who might be out of contract in the summer. Probably in the summer, someone would have said, okay, we're trying for Dembele. Okay, I would have still been hesitant, but okay. I still would have been like, okay, we can do it. On an 18-month loan or something like that, some kind of deal like that. That's my opinion on Dembele. I wanted your thinking on.
Yeah,
whether
I
if
know
we
where
can
you're
do
coming
loan.
from. What I would suggest you read as well is go and read Ousmane Dembele's statement that he's released on Instagram. I've skim read it because I've obviously been live since it's come out. I think it literally got tweeted out about 4:30, so we just went live when it came out.
Yeah.
But go and have a little read of that. I understand the concerns that Chelsea fans have got completely. Shrey, absolutely.
Yeah, I wanted to mention one more thing about Vlahovic.
Yeah, go
I
on.
heard one of the Chelsea fans saying, if Arsenal get Vlahovic, I'm worried because, and I agree, that if Arsenal get him, I'm seriously worried as a Chelsea fan, because Arsenal is seriously building something there, and they're building momentum, and with the way we're playing, like, God knows how far we'll slip. So I think Arsenal is the next big thing to watch for.
I hear
And I
you, mate.
think even the DiMarzio, the news I think you had mentioned about DiMarzio saying that Fiorentina will not sell him. I genuinely felt it was a smokescreen from the beginning. Like because there's the PR angle from Fiorentina saying we ain't gonna sell him. Like they wanted to look big and tough.
I hear you,
That,
bro.
I think
I
it'll
really,
get done.
I do. Shrey, legend for coming on, mate, and having your say. Thank you very much indeed. All the best, buddy. David's on with me next. What you saying, Davey boy?
I'm good.
Oh, I like the angle. That's a proper camera angle. Yes.
It's because I'm using my iPad. I'm using my iPad right now.
Use that in future. Much better. Much better.
Okay.
Much better. What's your take on this Ousmane Dembele to Chelsea, bro?
Stop signing dickheads. Quite simple. Like he's a bad egg. Everywhere he goes, just causing problems, not showing up to training, playing Fortnite till 4 a.m. We've already got one of those people in our club who just likes to cause problems. I don't need another. So, yeah. Even like as a player, I actually don't see a problem with it. It's his personality I worry about more. So, yeah, that's just it for me. If he signs for 15 mil, like I'm not going to be like no, because quite frankly, all our wingers are worth about 15 mil anyway. So, like it really doesn't matter if we sign him, but I just don't want like bad characters in the squad.
But you trust Tuchel though, and if Tuchel wants him, because I assume they work together at Dortmund. I haven't checked the dates, but I'm assuming they did.
He had like his best season under Tuchel.
See, I mean, yeah, I suppose that's the one thing you'd say. Again, I would trust Tuchel. I think Tuchel's a brilliant manager. He obviously knows football. He knows what he's doing. If he wants him, maybe that's a train of thought that I can get the best out of him. I haven't read the statement that he released, but it feels very much. I've read the first few lines where he's basically saying how his name has just been lied on for the past 4 years. All these stories about him are not true and everything else. But it'll be intriguing to see what will happen if he leaves. But it does feel, mate, it does feel like he really is potentially on his way to Chelsea, because it isn't like one random journalist no one's heard of and no one else. There's a lot of smoke right now, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And if he comes into the club, like just play well, and I'll get off your back. Like I already have someone whose back I need to get on, and he's not 50. It's 15 mil. If it's actually just 15 mil, like I won't talk about the financial bit. It'll be literally just focus on him as a player, and that's what I think will benefit him, because he won't have as much pressure as if it was a peak Ousmane Dembele and we signed him for like 80 mil. So the only thing he might have a problem with is that people think he's like a really, really, really good player. Like he'll just come in and just start dribbling past like 8 people and putting it top corner. That might be the only thing where people go, "Oh, he's not the player who we thought he was." But
Yeah, I wouldn't the attitude stuff. Yeah, I always like take the attitude thing with a pinch of salt, because sometimes it can be overinflated and everything else. For me, what stands out will be the concern is that injury record. And I got what iTest was saying earlier, that it's Barca's medical team. It could be, but the body's had that much damage to it. Can it ever fully recover from all of that? And maybe I think Wintersurfer made a great point. Paid as you play, or a low base with a highly incentivized amount of money, that makes sense, because the last thing you want to do is bring him in on 350 400k a week base, and he barely plays, and he's there for 4 or 5 years, and then he's just kind of locked in. And you can't get rid of him, and you can't move him on, and everything else, and everything else. But it's going to be interesting. And what is your take on this Vlahovic news as well? Because it ain't going away. There's another report from what I'm told is a very credible source from Italy, that essentially the clubs have agreed that the offer's been accepted by Fiorentina if Arsenal make it official. We know Arsenal won't make it official until Vlahovic agrees, but he's now gone away. And I think the direct translation is he's gone away to retreat and reflect on the offer that has come in, which basically means he's mulling up how much money they're offering him and everything else. But do you think there's a chance it still could happen?
I think it could happen. I just question, is this the right thing for Arsenal to do? Same thing with Lukaku in the summer, when I was like, spending that much money in one position when you have holes in your squad normally just doesn't end up being a smart idea. Now, Vlahovic, again, I have questions about him as a player. I also have questions about why everyone's saying he's this world-class striker, because I know for a fact that no one's watched him. Like, I know for a fact no one sat down and watched 500 minutes of Fiorentina this season or last season. So I know for a fact no one's watched him. He's the touted things like 70 mil, 80 mil. How much resale will he really have, especially if he doesn't pop like everyone thinks he will? But there looks like there could be a player there, but I'm not sure about the price. I think they've got a lot more holes that they need to fix before they even go for big signings. But the idea of it, I can understand. Getting that big name striker who's a bit younger and can grow into a really, really good player, I can see why they would do it. I just think there are more important things for them to do.
Yeah, interesting as well. Some more breaking news. We're going to throw some more callers in a minute. Just in relation to Ndombele. So Fabrizio Romano has confirmed here via, it's actually Jack Pitt-Brooks' story from The Athletic, that talks are ongoing between Tottenham and Paris Saint-Germain. That's confirmed. The player is keen on the move. The clubs are in direct contact. So Ousmane Dembele might be on his way to the Prem. You could be seeing Ndombele leaving and maybe moving out to the Uber Eats League, as it were. So that's going to be an interesting story to kind of keep an eye on as well. We're going to add a few more callers into the stream now as well. We're going to get Mohammed on next, who is a big Arsenal fan, I believe. Let's do this. Yes, Mohammed, how are you, mate?
Hi, Terry. At last, I'm with you. I watch you always, but unfortunately, you didn't put this link always. So I'm very happy to be with you tonight.
Absolute pleasure to speak to you, my friend. What do you want to say?
Introduce myself. I'm sports journalist from Palestine, Mohammed Iraqi. I analyze Arsenal on YouTube many times on Arsenal Lounge and with Harry Simiu. So I'm with you today. I'm very happy. Concerning Vlahovic, what I want to say that I want to be a little bit patient, not to go crazy. And I know Arsenal fans are waiting, wanting this deal, but I think we still have to wait to take this correct information from a trusted source such as Romano or David Ornstein. But Arsenal pursuing Vlahovic, we know, is a great thing. We know Arsenal are building now a new young squad, signing players with this much talent and wanted in all Europe, like Vlahovic. It's a big statement from Arsenal. We truly want to go forward with this project. So we know the situation of the forwards of Arsenal. Next summer, Arsenal will be without any forward because Laka will leave for free, Ketia will leave for free. I think Aubameyang will be sold next summer, if not this winter. So Arsenal will be without any forward. So we need the number one target, top forward. And now, if you look in Europe, you can say that Haaland is number one and Vlahovic is number two. With the form, with the scoring goals, with the huge potential, with the age also, 21 years old, top scorer in Italy, all top clubs want him. So Arsenal, as Arteta said weeks ago, must be clinical in transfer, in the pitch and outside the pitch, and also must maximize all transfer window in winter or in summer. This is Arsenal need to go forward every transfer window, and this thing wasn't happening in the last few seasons. So I think we have to wait. I wish, as all Arsenal fans, to get him because Vlahovic, with Arsenal, we think young, talented squad that we have today will go Arsenal levels ahead. Arsenal already built the defense department and Ramsdale, so not worry. Now the planning is for Arsenal to go forward with the strengthening the midfield and the attacking departments, because these two areas that is worrying now, midfield and attacking department, now in winter and next summer, to go fighting for the big boys, Liverpool, Man City, Chelsea.
Yeah. Mo, I listen. I completely agree with you, mate, and I think that exactly. I think everyone's still waiting for that big report from one of the main trusted sources for this. It's good to see Arsenal doing it, and you're right that building up of this squad now, it's Vlahovic level players and above that this squad now needs because they've kind of got that base there. Absolutely brilliant to speak to you, Mohammed. Make sure you phone in again, my friend. Absolute pleasure.
Inshallah, many times I will be with you. Just put the link every week, Terry.
Okay, my bro. Thank you very much. All the best. Thank you very, very much indeed. Thank you. Thank you to our 2 new members as well that have signed up during this show. Thank you very much indeed. We're going to add Ziad into the show with us now. We're going to add Victor as well. Victor's here with us. What are you saying, Ziad?
Evening, Terry. Yeah, on this Dembele, I don't think it's that bad of a deal, but I just don't think it's something that we need to be focusing on right now. I think it's we can do it in the summer, especially right now. We need a right wing back, a left wing back, and you less than 2 weeks after the window. It's not the time to be focusing on Dembele. Although the price is okay, especially right now, 50 million, but we could also get and sign a pre-agreement contract for the summer, and then he'll be able to join us. And then also, right now in the summer, we could probably get rid of Hudson-Odoi on loan, which will bring in space for Dembele. Will be on a free. The wages wouldn't be as bad. It won't be around 300-400. I think it will be around, say, 210, 220, which is not as bad as previous thought. So yeah, I definitely think it's something that we could possibly do in the summer, but it's not something we need right now. Considering all our injuries and considering that we are like quite full in attack. And by the time we say we were to put Hudson-Odoi on loan and then bring in the replacement of Dembele, with the 2 years or a year that when Hudson-Odoi returns, there will be results of Ziyech and of Werner if they're good enough for Chelsea or not. So they will be gone, which frees up more space. So I definitely think it's something that we should do, and especially for Tuchel. Tuchel has managed him under Dortmund, and he said himself that he's the most talented player that he's ever coached. That's some good, promising signs. Yeah, the injuries are an issue. But considering the price, if we were getting to in the summer, which will be free, even now in January, 15 million only, I think it's a risk worth taking.
Yeah, do you know what's interesting about it is I've said all along that I don't feel like your fullbacks are a problem in being missed. But I felt all along that it's a wider problem. Maybe from a creativity point, like with the level of attackers that you've got in your team, you should definitely be able to create more chances than you're doing. And maybe the view from Tuchel is my Hudson-Odois, my Pulisic, my Ziyech's, my Mounts, my Kai Havertz. You're simply not producing the opportunities, and maybe that's what they need to do. Is they can't find a fullback of high enough quality, creativity wise, to bring in now. But maybe that's the point. They can do it from a different position. Victor, who do you support, bruv?
I'm a Chelsea fan.
What's your take on this deal, my friend?
I think it's not called for. We don't need it right now. We have bigger problems to deal with the fullbacks and probably the defense, because our defenders are dropping like flies, and our team, and plus we have about 7 attackers right now who are unfit. We have problems. Yes, we have problems with creativity, but that's because I think there's a bit of disjointedness in the squad. I think there's something going on in this behind the scenes that no one's really talking about, because I don't get how Lukaku can make a blatant run and no one finds him and everyone just decides to pass back or pass someone else. I think that Lukaku situation messed up the change room a little bit. I think once we can able to sort that out, for now, at least let us just manage the team out this season. Because adding Dembele with his wages about 200k plus, Lukaku's wages are 200k, Werner's on 190, Havertz is on 200, Pulisic is on like 150, or Sunderland's on 150. Having a squad full of those attackers is not going to be very good. I think it'll make the team completely disjointed and could jeopardize our season. And Dembele would not suit Chelsea's squad, because Chelsea like to press from the front. If you see it against the Man City game, we struggle from pressing from the front. I've never seen Dembele press to win the ball. I've seen him in the Champions League a few times against Bayern Munich, and he just stood there just expecting the ball to go forward, like playing the ball through. which is what Lukaku does, and you can see against City it didn't work. And Dembele has some serious attitude problems. Like, I don't understand how.
I'm very sorry.
Yeah.
I'm very sorry. We've got some amazing breaking news. So, Luke Edwards just broke the news. That Jesse Lingard was close to a permanent move to Newcastle United. He just tweeted to say the permanent move is not going to happen. Literally 5 minutes later, Newcastle close in on permanent move. But frustration grows, and literally within half an hour, the permanent deal is now not going ahead. The permanent deal, you can see that is not going ahead. Literally in the space of, I don't know, 30 minutes. The deal. Sorry, I shouldn't laugh, but it made me laugh. It really made me laugh because he's literally, like the article said, that closing in. Oh, wow. Absolutely wow. That is crazy. That is absolutely crazy. I'm sorry to laugh, but that made me laugh. Have you ever seen a transfer turn around that quickly?
No.
No.
No, not really.
No.
Oh,
maybe Odin Wingy thinking he was going to be a QPR player. That's probably.
Oh, mate, that's hilarious. That is so. I don't even know why I'm finding that so funny. It just is to me. It shouldn't be, but it is. That is brilliant. There we go. Victor, I appreciate you coming up. We're gonna throw in who's throwing in now. Jazz has been waiting a while. What are you saying, Jazz?
Doing good, Terry. How are you?
I'm very well. Who do you support, Jazz?
Arsenal.
Lovely. Give me your thoughts on the Vlahovic deal.
Why would Vlahovic come to Arsenal? We haven't been in Champions League for 5 years now. We have a manager who has no experience. So why would he join Arsenal over the likes of Juventus or Barcelona or whoever he can choose in the summer? Why?
That's a very good question, and it's a hard question to answer, other than to say maybe those clubs haven't yet shown enough interest in him. Maybe Arsenal are offering more money.
Yeah,
maybe those clubs. Listen, everybody would have said that if you'd have turned around 2-3 summers ago and said, why would Jovic want to join Man United when he can go to Real Madrid? Man United weren't in the Champions League. Look how his career's gone. Sometimes it's about that right step next. We've seen so many young players, from Renato Sanchez is a case in point here, that have moved. João Felix have moved too early to bigger clubs in their careers. Maybe Arsenal is the right next move to expose him to the pressure before needing to deliver. You go to Real Madrid, doesn't matter if you're 21. You go in that team, you've got to score 40, 50 goals a season and win Champions League and Premier Leagues. Like, I'm just throwing that for me is a logical thought process as to why. But you sound as an Arsenal fan that you got no hope in this at all.
I have no hope. The only hope I have is if he give him, let's say, 400 grand a week, which is way more than others give. But even then, if I'm a player, if I have ambitions, why would I not join the likes of Juventus, which is close to his heart apparently? So over a few grand, I think a player would always choose, the sentiment of a player where he wants to go to a club like Juventus. So that's my take on it. And one more thing I wanted to add is regarding the Arsenal fans. They are getting brainwashed by all the press conferences which Mikel Arteta does every now and then. Terry, you might know, before every press conference, the club they have a PR team. They always tell the managers, you have to speak this, you have to speak this. So Mikel, in each and every press conference, he always talks about the fans. And our fans are getting brainwashed by all that PR soundbites. Why can't you see he finished 8th? He won a FA Cup. He got us knocked out in the 4th round, and then in the 3rd round the next years, he got us humiliated by Olympiacos in Europa League, and then by Unai Emery. So why can't people focus on the actual facts rather than saying he says good things in the press conferences, or he's bringing a culture, he's getting rid of the deadwood? Why can't you better the players you already have? Why do you have to spend 250 million before you even try to improve the team? So I don't get it.
It's a good challenge, mate. It's a good challenge. And look, there'll be lots of people. I'm sure Lee Gunner is sitting there watching, going, "Yeah." You know that scene of DiCaprio pointing at the TV screen from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. That's what Lee Gunner's doing right now. Jazz, great call, my friend. Thank you for coming on and having your say. I appreciate that, bro. Listen, he's entitled to his points. If you want to come in and challenge, the link is pinned. Next on the show, Young Tommy. Young Tommy, what are you saying?
I'm all right, Tal. You guys all right? You all right, Dave? Everyone all right?
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
Now, hopefully, Vlahovic. I kind of agree with what Jazz is saying. Hopefully, we get. It's true. Arteta is a rookie, isn't it? It's true. I know what he's saying, but hopefully, we can get him. But we have to hurry up and get him because we do need a striker, and obviously we need a holding midfielder. We need to get those two. We need to ASAP. We need to get it so we can hopefully finish in the top four. But this top four race is just wide open. Like, it's absolutely so entertaining. Leicester just threw the game away. When I was watching the game with my dad, Leicester against Tottenham, me and my dad, we couldn't believe Leicester just threw it away. We just couldn't believe it. Like, I'm thinking, take a point, but you threw it away. Then congrats on your game against Brentford. Like, Terry, congrats on your game against Brentford. But yeah. But Brentford outplayed you first half. Should have been clinical.
Back.
But second half, you dominated. Second half, you stepped it
We're
up.
back.
But yeah, fair play. So yeah,
I got a challenge for you, young Tommy. Challenge for you on that. Don't come on my panel. No, listen. Challenge for you. We got outplayed. We got countered against. We didn't get outplayed. And David De Gea, what I laughed about, not challenging, by the way, Tommy, I know you didn't say this. What I loved about last night. I know you are, bro. When David De Gea makes saves,
yeah,
Man United are lucky. When Alisson or Edison or Mendy or Ramsdale make great saves.
Not Mendy. Chelsea get it as well. Chelsea, when it's like, oh my God, you were lucky.
We get it as well.
We got it against Brentford.
What I mean is, but you guys don't say it. I'm just getting a bit bored of the tit for tat. Like, Ramsdale pulls off saves and goes, "You're lucky," and Arsenal fans go, "No, he's part of the team." De Gea pulls off saves. Arsenal fans like, "Oh, you're so lucky." Sometimes, honestly, I feel like I need to meet the parents of these people and give them a slap because, like, what have you taught your kid to be like, bruv? Like, you know what I mean? I'm only joking. I'm not saying you, Tommy, by the way.
Thomas Frank's interview, I'm thinking, why about changing systems? I'm thinking he's saying a lot of nonsense. I'm thinking, I like Thomas Frank, but shut your mouth, mate. You're saying a lot of nonsense.
Man United changed the system in the game before. Because I don't know what he was chatting about.
Why does young Tommy sound like KJ?
Do you think he sounds like KJ?
A lot of people keep saying I do, but I don't.
What's interesting about KJ, I'm going to out him. Like, we know he's from Birmingham, right? So he's got a bit of a Brummie accent. See, KJ talks a little bit street or whatever. I've heard
I live in London, innit? So yeah.
I've heard KJ's like sister speak, and I think I've heard his mum speak before. They have got what I would call a proper thick, like, Birmingham accent. And like KJ clearly like tones he's down on purpose to sound a bit more London. He wants to be from London so badly, KJ. He definitely does. But big him up. Young Tommy, thank you, my brother, for coming on and having your say. Thank you. Guess who's back, people? Guess who's back? He's been missing. He has been missing for about 24 hours. He went missing. We didn't know where he was. Milk cartons have been done. But Igao is back with us today. How's it going, my brother? How are you?
Excuse me. Missing? I had the link to come on the Chelsea stream. I tried to come on. It didn't work. Yesterday.
No, you're missing last night. I didn't even get 2 ticks until about 1 a.m.
Because I was at work for the first time in a week.
You've called in when you've been at work before, bruv.
I have, and I tried to call in yesterday, but the stream was already done by the time.
I'm winding you up. What are you here to say, my brother? What are you here to say?
Long story short, keep it simple. When it comes to this whole Vlahovic and Arsenal thing, people just better hope it doesn't happen. Because if it does happen, a lot of these guys saying, "Oh, Arsenal's dead, Arsenal this," nah, you're not going to be saying that much longer. Trust me. Those are statements.
I just have one question.
Those are statement signings. If we get those,
hey David, hey, you don't kill me, bro. Please don't kill me.
I have one question for you.
Yeah.
How much have you watched Vlahovic?
I've seen enough about him. I've read about him. I've done a lot. I've
I
done
need-
a lot
I
of
need
research. I've
minutes.
done my research on him. When it comes to
I've done my
watching,
research. You see, these are very buzzy words. Like, I want a tangible number.
Yeah, if you watch highlights of him,
if you're asking if I watched 90 minutes of him, no, I've only watched like 2 90-minute performances of him. But when it comes to sitting down and watching his game tape, I've watched like I would say more than 90 minutes worth of like revised games. Like I've rewatched other games, but not the full game.
Okay, I am now scarred from that Serie A league. So anyone who says I've watched this player, I don't trust them. Anyone, if it's not in England, I don't trust you.
Listen, Vlahovic looks good. Vlahovic looks good, and I trust what Dean said. Dean actually has watched him play live a good number of times when he was working for Bleacher and a few other newspapers and whatnot. So I think he's a talented player. When you see the news that's come out today, Gal, the talk of this bid, this offer, or this bid, or this, I don't know, this half serious, we'll make it official later offer has been accepted, or Fiorentina are happy with it. Either way, it looks like you and Fiorentina are pretty much at an agreement. Right now, you said 60% last time. How confident are you now with 10, 11 days to go that Arsenal can get this big deal done?
I'm still 60% there. So I'm saying at this point, it's all down to the agent and the player. So I'm just saying, sign the contract, big boy. Sign the contract. Like that's all you got to do. Just
big
sign
boy.
sign the contract. This guy's agent, Darko, he needs to get his act together because he's holding this deal up for his client. And I get why he's doing it. He's trying to make as much money as possible. So he's doing his job. But Arsenal, just do your due diligence, make sure everything's ready, and money talks at the end of the day. If we pay enough money, we'll get the player over the line. Everybody making banterous jokes. You know what? If you want to take away the banter for a second, financially, this is going to be the best package for his club. Financially for him, right now, making this move would be amazing for him. If it doesn't make sense for him personally, mid-season to move, probably not. But financially, it would. And that's why I'm thinking he would come. When it comes to ambition, all the other stuff, if he wants to wait for another club to come in for him, we've seen what happened with Timo Werner. That other club might not come in, and you might be left taking your second or third option. Right now, I'm happy with how we've progressed. And if we bring him in, I think it solidifies our top 4 hopes, and it solidifies us as a Champions League team going forward. And it's a statement of intent. So everyone who's laughing...
Big call, Eagle. Big call. It's a big, brave call, Eagle.
No, how is it a brave call, bro? If you're missing a certain piece and you sign that piece, it's not a brave call to say
you're missing a lot more than a striker.
That's what we thought.
The biggest issue at Arsenal, guys, is the midfield. By far, I agree with you. We're missing so many more things than just a striker. But if we can get the striker in, that's something we can solidify when other teams are looking for strikers in the summer, and we no longer need to worry about that. Now in the summer, when everybody else is going for a striker, we can go for a midfielder. But at the end of the day, until Arsenal gets a proper DM like a Fabinho or a Rodri or something like that, we will never be competing for a league title. But for now, it's just building blocks to get us higher up the league table.
Miguel, you know what you sound like? You sound like every Chelsea fan at the start of the season when Lukaku was signed, and they all said,
but the difference between Chelsea is you have 2 Ballon d'Or candidates in your midfield. What do we have in our midfield? Thomas Partey, who's been underachieving.
No, it's not. What I'm talking about when I say this is that you sit there and you say, we're missing... People knew that Chelsea were missing pieces, right, to win the league. However, you think that this one statement is gonna fix, like, it's gonna elevate you in a certain way. But
guess what?
I don't think it's gonna work out.
It will. Listen, it will elevate us because we currently are not scoring. We are scoring goals with no proper striker. Lacazette is not a striker. Aubameyang has been out of the team. You bring in a Vlahovic in the team, it definitely brings our level up a bit. But when it comes down to it, I agree with you. The midfield is the biggest issue. Guys, tomorrow, if we bought Declan Rice or we bought a big midfielder, that would be bigger and that would be more scary for anybody than bringing in a Vlahovic. But that is not what we're doing. What we're doing is we're trying to solve other areas before we solve the biggest area in the problem is the midfield.
It's going to be intriguing to see indeed. Victor, thank you very much for coming on, bro, and having your say. I really appreciate it, my brother. Thank you very much indeed. We're going to go to another caller in just a moment, but I want to let you know if we hit 750 likes on this stream, we'll give you another clue for the Football Terrace secret phrase. You can still win that PlayStation 5 and a pair of Ronaldo's football boots. And if you are watching our previous winner of the Xbox, I hope you're enjoying it. I hope you're having fun. We did post the pictures on the community page of the person. He put the tweet out as well when it arrived. So 750 likes and we'll give you the clue. And it's a big boy. It's an absolute big boy of a clue. It's a big boy of a clue. 750 likes. Let's get that done. Easy for us all watching to get it over the line. Or who am I even putting on next? I've got so many callers to choose from. I am spoilt for choice. I'm going to go for Nick. Nick is a Chelsea fan. What are you saying, mate?
Hey, Terry. How are you?
I'm very well. Give me your thoughts on the ooze, as Have Hope would say, to Chelsea.
I'm really on the fence, to be honest, right? Like, I know he's got quality in that, but like, this isn't who we should be prioritizing. We should be prioritizing a wing back. We cannot finish the rest of this season with Marcus Alonso and academy graduate Lewis Hall is probably the second best option. Let's be real, because I don't want to see Cho there. I don't want to see Pulisic there. I know Dembele's got quality, but the thing is, he is so injury prone. And the thing you pulled up earlier, Terry, showing the amount of injuries he's had, bro, it's just, he's not reliable. We need reliability, especially in an attacking sense. What we've experienced this season is so inconsistent. We've been so inconsistent going forward, right? And will Dembele bring consistency to our team? I can't answer that. I don't think he will. I think he's got quality, and maybe over the long run he can establish, you know, some solid form over a decent amount of games and bring some consistency. But he's not that guy that's going to come in, hit the ground running, and get us playing the football that we need to be going, you know, to get back to where we need to be, right? So I just don't know. I mean, for 15 mil, I'll take a gamble, but still, we should be pushing our resources to a better area, in my opinion.
Listen, I understand where you're coming from completely. I think a lot of Chelsea fans agree with you on that. Laddie is with us now. Laddie is a Chelsea fan as well. What are you saying, mate? You're on mute, brother.
Hi, how you doing?
Very well, my friend. What do you want to say about this deal?
Oh, dude, I don't know why the gentleman with the green shirt, why are you trying to stop Arsenal? Let them get Vlahovic. When your enemies are making mistakes, do not interrupt them.
Vlahovic is a decent player, bro.
You were spot on. It's their own Lukaku. I will watch with glee as their dreams fade in front of their eyes. It is going to be amazing. You are taking a player that doesn't play your style, that doesn't play in any way, shape, or form the same way you play, and you expect what, change him? He hasn't played in the Champions League. He has no Champions League experience. He scored 1 goal in every 2 games last season. He scored decent this year. But you're taking him raw and you're expecting him to what? Especially this for Igal, thinking that he's going to be this messiah to save them. And I'm telling you, you know what? Just do it. As far as Ousmane Dembele, Terry, no. I don't want him anywhere near our club. His attitude is rank, and his manager thinks he's his agent thinks he's Mini Raiola ×2. He's just chatting nonsense. So I really don't think we need anything like him at this moment. But honestly, Vlahovic, he should go to Arsenal, because he's a great player. He's a fantastic player, but he's not an Arsenal player. 1000%.
Listen, I think with the Ousmane Dembele deal, I agree for different reasons, but I agree isn't right for you. Vlahovic, I kind of disagree a little bit. I think Vlahovic will take Arsenal to another level. I really do. I know they need a midfield player as well, but I get why they're going for him now. I think he'll if Arsenal sign Vlahovic, he could be dangerous. But you know, I thought that about Sancho, to be fair, and that didn't quite work out. At the same time, I remember sitting there and getting caked and absolutely abused by Gooners when I said that Tomiyasu was a good signing. No, we need to go for better, and now they love him. So the world's very, very interesting indeed. Look, everyone that's tuned in today, I was only going to go live for 40 minutes. It's been an hour and a half now. I appreciate all my callers, all the super chatters, all the new subscribers, everyone who has tuned in. Make sure you hit that like and share button before you leave. And also on the homepage now, you'll see it. The live stream for tonight's reaction of the second leg semi-final is already set up. So go there now, set your reminder, because I know most of you tuning in are either gooners that want to be there anyway, or you're Chelsea fans who are going to be bantering someone tonight. So go and set your reminders. We're live straight after the game. Go and get that done. Until next time, take care. Good.